Okay, do something.
Uh, Watch me pull a halfling out of my ass.
I step away.
So are you trying to like pick up Milo and do something with him? Like what were you trying to do with the sleight of hand?
It's kind of like a funny.
Yeah, I try to jump away.
Okay, so basically you're trying to do a quick grab of Milo, I guess, to kind of do a trick with him. He jumps out of the way, and you kind of fall flat trying to grab him. The halflings all find this very amusing. They laugh, they'll jump down, they'll start saying, "Good job, good job." They'll help you get up, and now they seem like they're willing to talk to the two of you.
Okay, I ask them, what are you doing in town?
Tuan is
What
here to
brings?
have some fun.
Oh, and are you working nearby?
Tyne is working the area. Good time to work. Lots of people for feast.
Oh, I see. And anything interesting?
Tane finds it very interesting. Lots of drink, lots of party, lots of fun.
Oh, and I mean objects maybe that you have found.
Ton find no objects of interest. Ton works,
Hmm.
Ton plays, Ton drinks, Ton has a good time.
I want to use insight to know if I can trust him.
Okay, go ahead.
Ah, come on. He's the most honest halfling I have ever met.
Yeah, they're as far as you can tell, they seem pretty honest. They're here to have a good time. They obviously do, work with like a tumbling and juggling act and stuff like that. And as far as you can tell, they aren't hiding anything.
Okay, I order another round of ale. I want to get them drunk, so I'm going to start bringing ale, buy a lot of ale.
Shots for everybody. Oh, what? You finished that one? Shots for you again.
No, I'll just offer them and try to deceive them into thinking that I'm drinking too.
Sure. They cheer at the thought. They thank you, and they start to drink. And we'll let that drinking set in. We are going to move to Lopan.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I start to talk with the two ladies and tell them how pretty they are, what they are doing alone, sit at their table, and ask them what they are doing in here.
Oh, hello there. Hello. Come sit down. Come sit down. You are such an interesting individual.
I sit down beside them, and then I clench my fist like in a claw and show them my nails, pointed nails, and tell them, "Give me the artifact now."
Are you like doing like a intimidation type check?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Oh, snap.
Okay. So all of a sudden, the one sec here. Let me see which one. Uh, so all of a sudden, the one lady just kind of looks confused and a bit scared, and the one kind of clutches at her chest to where you can tell it looks like a necklace is hanging, and she's like, "Are are you trying to rob my necklace? This is a family necklace. It's it's very important to me."
I grab the artifact and try to pull it from her.
So,
I'm sorry.
all right, so She's an elderly lady. Basically, what happens is she's there. You kind of do just a quick athletics check. I just want to make sure that you do okay.
That you snatch it off of her neck.
Huh?
Oh,
Yeah, in a crowded
oh
bar.
Lord.
So yeah, you basically go, you grab at the necklace, and the chain kind of breaks, and you're holding this amulet, and the the lady's like, it has no value. It's a family thing. It's just a necklace that they gave me that all it does is keeps it clean. It has like no value.
I don't believe you.
You're drawing a lot of attention from, obviously other people in the bar at this point, including the owner and others.
There goes our suave not letting anybody know what we're doing. Go get him, Lopan.
I try to find the guy that asked us to do that.
You're just gonna try to find him.
Yeah.
Okay, so he kind of like at this point is kind of at the table you guys started at, and he's kind of like has his head down, kind of like trying to not draw attention to himself, kind of by himself at the table that you guys originally sat at.
Okay.
I assume you're gonna walk over and
Yes.
Hey.
I walk over to him, and then I just like slam the necklace in the table. Here it is.
Okay. The old ladies at this point basically are like, oh, can you believe what's going on? They seem to be very like drawing attention to like just how horrible, like they seem like they're overly acting victims here, despite the fact they actually are. But they seem to be like really hamming it up for what's going on and making a big deal of it and trying to draw a lot of attention to themselves and poor them and oh my God, what's going on? And basically the individual, the half orc that you talked to originally, basically kind of looks at it and goes, give it back. That is not strong enough to be what we're looking for.
And Anglir will turn to the wild elf and say, do you see that? Can you believe that?
Okay, I grab the necklace, give it back to the women, and ask them to excuse me. It was a mistake, and try to kiss her hands.
Okay, so basically we'll kind of come back to that all when all the tables are resolved, but yeah, so you're attempting at this point to calm down these old ladies that you have stolen their necklace from.
Oh man, this is funny.
Well, it's obviously not them.
So for the rest of you, basically these tables are all kind of happening at the same time, so keep that in mind. So like you can kind of consider that while you're having your conversations, this kind of comes up close to the end of your conversation when you're having it, until we kind of bring them all together. So Egan, we're gonna jump to you because we're kind of jumping back and forth here. So
Copy.
yeah, basically you approach the dragonborn woman and go however you'd proceed.
Okay. I speak Draconic, so the whole conversation I would like to continue in Draconic with her. And I would like to say, good evening, ma'am. I see that you sit alone. Would you mind if I join you? In Draconic, of course.
Yeah, so you say that in Draconic. The moment you start to speak, she seems to like jump and recoil a bit. It almost seems like she thinks that you're about to like attack her.
Oh. Okay. That's a little sketchy. Okay, so she recoils.
Like just in her chair, she kind of like gets jumpy, looks back, and kind of recoils and puts her hand out, kind of like she's worried, like you're going to attack her outright in this pub.
Sure. I say, I mean you no harm. I only wish to share maybe a meal or a drink. talk with someone in Draconic.
She's kind of looks you up and down, and then she takes a moment to process, and then she gives you a slight nod.
Okay. I sit down and I just so I don't have to keep saying in Draconic. In Draconic is how I'm just going to address this woman.
Yeah, I assume that you're talking
Trying,
Draconic the whole time. Yeah.
yeah, totally trying to impress her. I say it has been such a long time since I've gotten to speak the elegant language of the dragons, especially with anyone. As I begin to look around the bar and I see very few, if not any other, dragonborn.
Correct. Yeah.
And I kind of look back at her with a smile. Although my charisma is an 8, I'm not ugly. I'm just, I play, it comes out in my character's personality. Like, he is just really abnormal at times.
Yeah, and you get the sense like if you kind of even take a look around, it seems that like most of the people at this point tend to actually be staring at her quite a bit. She tends to stand out, and there's nothing else yet that seems to draw people's attention more than this individual at this time.
I ask her, so what brings you to town? Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Egan. And what is your name? And I stick out my hand.
I am Halda. She'll take your hand. Not much. Just here visiting some family.
Okay. I want to use an insight to see if she's lying to me.
Certainly.
Right.
Yep. So as far as you can tell, she's lying.
Okay. Say, so when I approached you, you kind of jerked back as though you were scared or nervous. Have you been in town long?
Not this trip. As I mentioned, I come to visit family from time to time, so I've newly arrived. As you can expect, a Dragonborn is not always the most welcome, so I'm, like to be careful.
Of course. No, I absolutely get it. Well, let me tell you, I can, and I kind of like wave the waitress over, and I order a beer from her, and I ask, what did she say her name was? Hilda, Hilda.
Halda, Halda. Yep.
Okay, Hilda. I say, Hilda, can I get you anything? Maybe drink or another refill on your food there? I think if I recall in the description, she was eating some stew.
Yeah, she's dining alone. She politely lets you know that she is good. She still has a bit of her meal, and that she doesn't require anything else. She asks you what brings you to the area.
And I actually stop like that, and I look off for a moment, and then I look back at her with a completely stern, serious gaze and say, a little over 2 months ago, I was captured by Drow and taken as a prisoner. I wandered the Underdark for a little more than a month, recently found my way back to the surface. I've decided to take up adventuring so that I might be able to, I don't know, arm myself with some necessary gear and protect those who else might find themselves victims of the underworld.
So
and
you're
I assume around this time.
So you're an adventurer then.
Yeah. As I begin to, I kind of start looking her over. Is she wearing like any armor, adventuring gear, sword, shield?
Yeah, so when you kind of mention your adventure, she seems to start to kind of, loosen up a bit. And she seems like, from what you can tell, that she has adventuring gear herself. At that point, she basically starts to say, you're an adventurer then. Sorry for my initial reaction. I too am an adventurer, and I've been attacked by bandits twice now. On top of that, having the white dragon heritage I have makes me a target to some.
Oh, I see. I understand. So